am written as the first speaker from Indonesia Semarang. So this why I'm asked the oration team. Before my I would like to give you the reason or the background why this motion, aka this house, would intensify the use public transportation to reduce the traffic jam in Indonesia. I would like to give the background why this motion can come to us. The first, if we like to talk about the Jabodetabek, why? Because Jabodetabek is the city in Indonesia that have the good public transportation like MRT, LRT, busway, Transjakarta, AI, and so on. It is the city that have the good transportation, but in reality, traffic jam in Jakarta is the number one in Indonesia. So this is the way background we must, or the motion can come to us. And I'm as the first speaker, I can say that I disagree strongly with Mr. Dede, because this regulation of the use of transportation to reduce the traffic jam is the best solution in this case. Before I would like to give the reason why I can say that. First, the case of the traffic jam can come to us. The first is about the business. And that people in Jakarta or in the city in Indonesia, they have the business that they must to earn money to can survive these people. It makes they must to work, they must do the job. It is the case that people that must to work can go to their company. They must the transportation to can go themselves to their company. It is that the case that can catch the traffic, because many people use transportation. It is can a lot of the transportation that on the road, it is the make the traffic jam in the road. It is the why they not choose the public transportation, because transportation is the not suitable for their business. The first, they must to be on time, but why they use the public transportation, they cannot on time, because public transportation usually on all of the transportation have the not of the track, or the can also direct to go their visit or their company. It is they dislike or they not suitable come use the public transportation. This is the first. The second, about the private vehicle. It is the main or the big problem in this case, because ladies and gentlemen, let's be imagine together. Some family, not in Indonesia, not have the one car. They also have the 2, 3. It makes they must to park their car. But if they have no garage, they park in the road. That is can in disgrace the body of the road. It makes the new case from the traffic jam in Indonesia. And the second is people that use the car, they not allow full of the people that use this car. They only use one car in one people. It makes many people have the car in the road. Is this lot of car in make traffic jam in Indonesia? So it makes is the main problem that traffic jam in Indonesia. So it makes I'm and the friend we disagree with motion, because strongly the traffic jam is on the public road, not the transportation road. It's make I'm and my friend give you the solution why to disgrace the traffic jam in the public road, and we must to increase the transportation to support and disgrace this traffic jam in Indonesia. So I'm as the first speaker. It's all from me. Thank you. Action.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm as the second speaker from the opposite teams who like to bring by the motions this has to intensify the use of public transportation to reduce the traffic jams in Indonesia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first it's come up with the motions that first public transportations and also in Indonesia. Why this motion is come up with public transportation? Because this public transportation, the government said first is public transportation is the alternative way, but unfortunately there are a lot of perspective that public transportation is not the alternative way. And also, this is public transportation and traffic jams happens in Indonesia, where today in 2023. So my first speaker have been broke in Jabodetabek, especially in Jakarta, where Jakarta is the place where it's fun city. There are a lot of people who has used car and also use a vehicle, where traffic jam comes to that city. And what is the solution, ladies and gentlemen? First, it come up with my my opinion. First, it's highly increased the cost of automotive. When we say that the cost of automotive is exactly increased, exactly there will be more some efficient vehicle, because there are a lot of people in Indonesia do not strongly have some good economic, where they in the middle low, not in the middle ups. So when we see in the economic of society in Indonesia, they still low, and we know that Indonesia is called by developing country, not advanced country. When this traffic jam happens because of first people who use this transportation, public transportation, and people who use a vehicle massively. And the second is about the second is use private vehicle with systematical mechanisms, like the kind of vehicle should be increasingly. Like when we see that the kind of vehicle like Sims or etc., we should increase it to be more expensive, like 100 rupiah, or maybe it's become 1,000 rupiah or etc. Listen, because when we use this exactly, people who use this vehicle exactly will decrease, and the traffic jam will decrease. Ladies and gentlemen, because of why? Because when we see the perspective of society where do not educated, they just often to look for money rather than studying, ladies and gentlemen. And the second is use alternative way, like small way which is fast. When we see the small way which is fast, we see today we have some Google Maps, and also we use the alternative route where people always use this route to to be fast, where this should urgently given to the people who has important things, like when they gonna making jobs as fast as possible of giving to people who has urgently like hospital transportation or ambulance. Ladies and gentlemen, why we should give this to this transportation? Exactly, this traffic jam will be increased not just only by giving transportation to reduce the traffic in Indonesia. And fourth is society, why public transportation is not the solution. When we see just the public transportation is just only the solution, exactly we just only copy the perspective of the government, not the copy of the perspective of the society, where today society has perspective itself rather than government. Because when we see that today the globalization has been increased, we stay in the globalization where many people today has more utilizing the gadget rather than they are uneducated. So we are as millennial, as a gift of chance, exactly we will know what is the solution and what is the best way to make it not happen and to decrease the traffic jam in Indonesia. So when we see this happens in Indonesia, exactly transportation is not the way of to reduce, because people have their chosen and society have their solution. When we see come back to the society, exactly this will be reduce the solutions of traffic jams in Indonesia. Not just only giving the public transportation. When we giving the public transportation, exactly we just only giving to the government solution, not the society. Whereas who knows the biggest problem in Indonesia is the society who feel itself, because who using is the society, not the government. So I'm disagree with this motion, and I'm strongly disagree with this motion, and I'm strongly my team will be the winner. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I as the third speaker of the opposition team will delivering my speech. Our motion today is this House will intensify the use public transportation to reduce the traffic jam in Indonesia. Why I as the opposition team disagree with this motion? There are some reasons why we can intensively use public transportation to reduce the traffic jam, because in fact the use of public transportation can effectively reduce the traffic jam, because the main problem is a high amount of private vehicles in the road. And then there are some weaknesses from public transportation in Indonesia. For the first, public transportation has long routes, so there goes the long time to reach one places. And then from public transportation, it takes too long time for waiting for the next public transportation. And the third, public transportation don't have any classify from highly priority, such as workers and also students. If the public transportation can be classified, for example, student has their own public transportation, and then the workers has their own public transportation, so they will have different ways, so it will decrease the traffic jam. And then I will bring this motion to social and culture in Indonesia. We know that Indonesian people used to ride private vehicle to get in the place they want to go, and then they don't used to ride the public transportation to go everywhere. And because of these habits, it will be difficult if we change the mechanism intensively from private vehicles to public transportation, because it will cause a difficulties for the worker and also the elders. For example, workers that have highly priority of time, they will get difficulties to get to their workplace, because the public transportation get to long time and then to long routes that makes the workers can't arrive their workplace in right time. And then for students, they must arrive at school on time. Because of public transportation takes too long route and time, they will get school late. So that's why the use of public transportation intensively will make difficulties for the workers and then the students. And we also know Indonesian people have a slow living, slow life. They usually doing things near the deadline. So if all the Indonesian people use the public transportation, especially in Jabodetabek, they will get some shock in their daily life, because they not usually use the public transportation with the difficult and the long process in the use of public transportation. So because of this one culture in Indonesia, we can't massively change the rules from using public transportation to from the private vehicles to public transportation. So because we disagree with this motion, we provide the other solution, that we should reduce the using of private vehicles by strict the use in the family. For example, one family only have permission to have vehicles like motorcycle only 2, and then the car only 1. So that's how the private vehicles can be reduced in the road, and they still allow to use the private vehicles for their own business that have high priority in time, and then they still can use the public transportation if they are used to ride the public transportation to get another destination. And then because of that reason and then the solution, we are strongly disagree with this motion. Thank you.